helicopter has crashed near a kindergarten in the Ukrainian town of Brovary near Kyiv. 16 people have been killed in total, including Ukraine's interior minister, his deputy and a state secretary. 2 children have also been killed, according to national police, who are joined now live by our correspondent James Waterhouse in Kyiv for us. Morning, James. I know this is a developing story. You're out on the ground at the moment. What can you tell us?
Well, this is a devastating scene for Ukraine and the country as a whole. Around the corner of this residential block, you can see the rotary blade of the helicopter. It is stuck on top of a vehicle. There are 3 or 4 bodies under foil blankets, and just across the way there is a kindergarten where there is smoke coming out of the roof. The cause is not clear, but we have learnt that Ukraine's interior minister, Denys Monastyrskyy, is one of those 16 people who have been killed. Now, he is a prominent figure in President Zelensky's cabinet. We would often see him at major events, sadly like this, across the country, and the way to get around for officials, VIPs and emergency teams is via helicopter at low altitude. So this is a misty day. He would have been flying at low altitude, but we don't know the cause at this stage. And in times of war, it is not helpful to speculate, but it's a devastating blow for Kyiv to lose such a prominent figure in Ukraine's government at this stage.
James, it's almost 9:15 here in the UK. Just give us an idea, what time is it there and what would people be doing at this time? How busy would the kindergarten be?
So the children were there. It is 11:15 now. We're 2 hours ahead in Ukraine. We know, sadly, that 2 children have been killed. It's not yet clear whether they were part of the kindergarten or whether they were innocently walking by. But Brovary is a small town, 40 minutes or so east of Kyiv. And this is a place, actually, last year where the Russian advance reached. This was once under Russian control as they tried to launch their attack on the capital. They were ultimately repelled, but this is a small town that has gone through so much in the space of 12 months. But you could tell when we arrived here, I mean, you sadly come across scenes like this regularly across the country. I've got to stress, we don't yet know the cause, but you could tell when the military here, you could tell when the news came down as to who it was who has been killed on President Zelensky's government. You could tell the seriousness of what had happened. That's not to diminish from the other loss of life and the 22 people who have been injured, but it really will. This will be being felt right across Ukraine, and you know, more answers will come down in due course. But it is a misty day. Helicopters fly at very low altitude to avoid enemy missiles. That may well be the case that it came into problems that way, but a devastating blow for Ukraine amidst a backdrop of a continued invasion.
James, thank you very much indeed. That's James Waterhouse, who's in Brovary, which is near Kyiv, as he was just explaining to us.
And just to recap, it's understood that 16 people killed in that helicopter crash, including, as James was saying, Ukraine's interior minister, high-profile politician in the country, his deputy and a state secretary, as well as the children that James referred to.